Schauble.
Hello everyone, happy Wednesday. Well, we've made it to the midweek mark and the clouds are starting to show throughout the 4 states. On our windows and more tower cam though, we are relatively dry right now. We're not seeing too much going on. More so, a lot of this is shifting off to the northeast, and those are just the leftover showers and storms from earlier this morning. But the showers and storms are just getting started. We are going to see more of this build in as we get into the afternoon and evening mark for us. On our female first alert Doppler though, we're seeing all the way from the 50s to the 70s this morning, but that moisture coming in is making it feel a lot warmer. And it's invecting in from the southerly winds. We're also expected to experience some gusts today, close to about 25 all the way to 35 miles an hour. Right now the winds though aren't too bad. We've been very windy over the last several days, so we're getting a little bit of a morning break before things start to pick up again. So right now we have this upper level low off to our west. We have the stationary front that's shaping up to make its way through the region. So that, in addition to a dry line, is going to bring in the chance for some showers and storms. Now, as I said, most of this is going to come in this afternoon, also going into our evening. And by tonight, around 9 p.m., a lot of this is going to be off to our west, making its way closer to the region. We're seeing this dry line right here. We have more of that moisture to our southeast, and then also to the west and to the north, we're seeing more of that drier air. So the combination of the two kind of mixing might bring in some of that instability and fuel some of these showers and storms as well ahead of this cold front that's also going to be pushing in as we get into tomorrow. So cold front will be through the region going into tomorrow. Most of the convective activity or storms for us are going to be moving in as we get off to tomorrow to our east. So tomorrow for the 4 states, we have no severe risk for us, but that is always likely or could change for us. We'll be tracking that. But then we have another wave coming in as we get into Friday with a chance to see more showers and storms come in. So as I've talked about throughout our week, we've had multiple chances to see showers and storms, and that started last night, and that'll push all the way into Saturday. But for today / tonight, we have a slight risk for some of us off to our west, really west of I-49. That is going to bring that 2 out of 5 risk. Main threats for all of us today is going to be more so some winds and also some instances of some hail as well. Then to our east, we're experiencing or set to experience a 1 out of 5 risk, marginal risk for the same threats. But as we get into this evening, we can't forget the rain as well. Some of this is going to be coming down on the heavier side, and we have that slight risk more so off to our west. That is going to be that 2 out of 4 risk, and then that marginal risk for excessive rainfall for the rest of us. So that is going to also possibly bring in the threat for some flooding if enough rain kind of comes in quickly and on the heavier side. So be mindful of that. But then shifting to Friday, at the end of our work week, we have a slight risk, 2 out of 5 for the entire 4 states area. All threats are possible, and even all threats are possible today as well. But again, main ones are going to be wind and hail. We'll be looking at the threats as we get into Friday as of right now, but we're still waiting to see these showers and storms and how they track into today. So that'll give us a better outlook going into the next few days for us. Rain is going to kind of die down a bit throughout the next week, so that is going to change for us. Not good as far as the drought goes, because we are still seeing drought encompass the entire 4 states region. But our highs for today were in the 80s and in the 70s, around 81 in Miami, 79 in Joplin, and also 81 in Bentonville. But as we drop into this evening, those lows are going to shift into the 60s. It'll be mild for us tonight. Now here's a look at your KSM forecast from the Local Weather Authority. Today's high is going to be around 79 degrees. We'll see scattered shower and storm chances come through, and then as we get into this evening, lows are going to reach into the 60s. We'll see a low of around 64 degrees tonight, and again, we have shower and storm chances across the region for today, but a lot of this is going to start in the afternoon, and then we'll see those risks for severe activity pick up the closer we get into, I'd say, the late afternoon through our evening as well. So you definitely want to be weather aware today. We'll be tracking this, and then obviously our evening meteorologist will be tracking
Weather with Shelbi Schauble.
Hello everyone, happy Monday. Well, looking at our windows and more tower cam, you can see it moving back and forth. That's been a trend over the last week, but that nice sunshine is coming in as well. It's going to be sunny out there, windy and very warm, and we're starting off on the warmer side in the 60s for us, some areas already near the 70s. On our first alert Doppler, we're nice and dry, but we also have a wind advisory for some of our northeast Oklahoma areas, so just be aware of that. That should start later this morning. But we have picked up from where we were yesterday in the last 24 hours. hours. Around yesterday, this time of the morning, we were near the 20s, so we've seen almost a 20-degree increase for some of us this morning. But also the winds, we're going to see a relatively consistent flow for today. Stronger winds, that southerly flow is going to be coming in. We'll see some gusts ranging all the way from about close to 30 to 40 miles an hour at their peak. And what's bringing that in? Well, we're seeing a tightened pressure gradient ahead of a trough that's making its way to the area. Surface low pressure is also moving into the central plains as well. But as we continue to move throughout today, we're going to see a cold front make its way through. Now, this cold front are prepared to make its way through as we get closer to tomorrow. Now, this system is going to bring in the chance to see some showers and storms for us as we progress closer to the midweek marks. So that's looking at, I'd say, by Wednesday and going into the overnight hours, we'll see a little bit of this activity start to make its way to us in the form of a line segment, and it could bring some severe threats for some of us as we get closer to the midweek mark. So we have a 1 out of 5 severe risk for us as of right now. All threats are possible, but we're mainly looking at risk for wind and also hail. And then there is also 1 out of 5 marginal risk to see some excessive rainfall for us. So that could bring in the chance for some flooding risk for us if we see enough of that consistent rainfall make its way through in a quick period of time. But we are also quickly warming up. We're going to see these highs last into the 80s, not only today, but tomorrow as well. Then we'll shift into the 70s as we get closer to the midweek mark, or I should say past the midweek mark. And this weekend is shaping up to be average. That'll usher in a little bit of that cooler air, but that'll keep us more seasonable as we track into our Easter Sunday. But yes, we do have more rain chances over the next 6 to 10 days, which we desperately need, but at least Easter Sunday is going to be nice and sunny. At least that's what it is expected to be. Highs for today are on 85 in Joplin, 84 in Miami, and also 85 in Grove. But as we start to drop into this evening, we're going to see those lows reach more mild temperatures. We'll get into the 60s, around 67 in Joplin, 64 in Grove, and then also 66 in Miami. Now here's your KSM forecast from your local weather authority. We're going to see that high today of around 85 degrees. We'll be picking up, but then dropping right back down as we shift into this evening. Lows are going to get into the 60s. We'll see a low of around 67 degrees. It'll be breezy outside as well. So today will be sunny, windy, also dry, which is going to make for some elevated fire weather conditions. And then we have consecutive days of showers and storms through the rest of our week, starting tomorrow all the way till Saturday, with a chance to see some active weather as we get closer to Wednesday all the way to Friday.
Yeah, and some of those storms could be strong to severe. We'll be keeping an eye on those for sure. And then look at next weekend, Saturday, 62.